Hello, it's Tom from Texas and it's time for another Floppy deep dive, and today we are going to be diving into Bruce Lee from Datasoft, and we're going to dive into 6 different systems. Personally, I grew up with the Commodore 64. That's the version that I know, and so that's my gold standard that I compare everything to. But I have 3 different versions that are loaded up for the Commodore 64. I've got version 1, version 2, and version 3 over here on my shoulder. And version 1 was my original cracked game that I downloaded when I was a kid from the 80s. Version 2 actually shows 1984 on it, and this just has Bruce Lee, the Commodore, right here on the front. So this is version 2. And then version 3 right here says 1986, and it also has the Atari floppy Bruce Lee on the back. So I've got the Commodore 64 on the front, and so that was the most latest version of this game, which I never knew that there were different versions until I watched 8-Bit Show and Tell, and Robin explained that there are 3 different versions, and he has a really cool Bruce Lee video out there, the many secrets of Bruce Lee, and I recommend highly checking out that video. But from that video, it kind of inspired me that, hey, I want to play all the different systems that Bruce Lee is in, but I wanted to play it on the Atari, I wanted to play it on the ZX Spectrum, I wanted to play it on the MSX, I wanted to play it on the Amstrad, I wanted to play it on the Apple II. I think that was all of them. So 6 different systems I wanted to check out, and so that's what I did in this video. I went and I played Bruce Lee on 6 different systems, compared them, see what they were like, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. I think it was actually really cool experience. It gave me an opportunity to play Bruce Lee even more, and on 6 different systems, and just see the differences that different people experienced on their system that they grew up and what they remember. So let's dive into it. So before we get into the action gameplay, I wanted to show you the very first screen of all 6 systems, and I've numbered each one of these so I can identify them easily for you and give you my observations, and you can see clearly too, having these all on the screen at the same time. So number 1, I'm going to tell you that's the Atari system. That's the original. That's what they made this game for, was for the Atari at the time. And so here's where it all started, with the gray mountains. We got little Bruce Lee at the bottom of the screen right next to the lantern. The ninja, or Green Yamo, hasn't entered into this picture yet, and this is basically like I said, the first one, and this is how they designed it. Now number 2, as you can see, went completely different away from the Atari setup. Now we've got green mountains, we've got Bruce Lee at the bottom with black pants, but he's solid white like a ghost, and the lanterns are solid white, and so it's definitely a different vibe altogether. Number 3 looks very similar to number 1. We have the gray mountains are back again. We've got the gray background. We got Bruce Lee at the bottom with his black pants, and it looks like his shirt off. He looks like it's yellow with his boxing gloves. And again, the lanterns look white. And the middle 3 are all just graphic art from the games. So then we'll jump down to number 4, which is, as you look at it, observing it, is just green. Nothing else is green out there. Maybe the green mountains in number 2, but number 4 is just solid green. Bruce Lee looks the same, a little different posture than the other ones. Basically the lanterns look, a little different, and again at the bottom. Number 5 looks completely different than all 6 of them, right? So Bruce Lee's at the top. He's a solid white outline. The mountains are completely black, and it looks like he's standing next to a green cactus, and obviously that's not what that is, but a little bit different than all of them. The lanterns are different looking, and he's starting at the top of the screen next to that little green instead of at the bottom like the first 4. Now number 6, back to the gray background and very vibrant colors. Bruce is looking like he is in the other systems with his black pants and yellow top and black gloves. And the lanterns, though, look very similar to number 5. And again, he's starting at the top of the screen instead at the bottom screen like the other 4. So let's get into the action and show you all 6 systems all at once going. And it might be a little much for some of you, but I actually kind of liked it this way. You could see some of the different stuff. As you can see in the top, we've got the Ninja and Green Yamo and number 1 there on the Atari. And then on number 2, we have Bruce going, and the Ninja and Yamo is no longer green, he's white. So in that system, either Bruce is white and Green Yamo is white. So on the third one, we've got the Ninja, and we also have the Green Yamo and who he's fighting. So it looks just like the Atari one. On the bottom left-hand side, we've got, let's see, when the Ninja looks exactly the same as the black Ninja with his club, and then we also have Green Yamo also chasing Bruce. And then in the middle bottom, we've got everybody's white. The Ninja's white, Green Yamo's white, and Bruce is white. So completely different than everybody else. And then the last one, now we've got a neon green Yamo. He is very, very green, and the Ninja just looks the same as the rest of them, which is very uniform for them. But really some differences, especially in the middle 2, where they have the white Yamo is just completely different. But again, just their own little nuances, little different touches that I think checking out the different systems and playing them is so cool. If they were all the same, how boring would that be, right? Can you identify the system as one of these systems, the ones that you used to play that you remember? In the end, it will reveal which different systems when the game's over for each one of these different ones, so you can see. So you can see now that the systems start to reveal. The Atari is the first one that I died on to finish, and as these continue to play out, other systems will reveal themselves. I just finished there, so the MSX is now you can see is number 4, and the Spectrum was a number 5, which was pretty obvious on the graphics that it had on there. Number 3 up there was the Commodore 64. And then there's the Amstrad and the Apple II. So all the systems revealed themselves. So did you get them right? Did you pick out the one that was your system or the systems that you have played? Now let's look at these a little bit more into detail. So the first thing that I wanted to point out is you got 4 different play options: 1 player, 2 player, the computer or opponent, that's built into the Commodore 64. So I want to look at the Commodore 64 gameplay first, because that's what I'm most familiar with, and just because that's what I compare everything to. I believe that, you know, it's one of my favorite games, so I have it has high standards for me. I think the gameplay of it is very fluid. It's easy to pick up. You could just pick up the joystick and start playing. The graphics are great for the time. The sound is very good at the time. I just give this, you know, a strong A rating review, because it is just so good. And I could be a little biased, I admit that, because this is what I grew up and this is what I played as a kid. But it really is, you know, an awesome system. And like I was saying, this Bruce Lee actually had 3 different versions. So the version I'm playing here is version 1. This was my cracked original copy from the 80s that I downloaded off a bulletin board system or copied from a friend. I couldn't tell you which one. But Green Yamo is like it's supposed to be. We've got the Black Ninja. It's very similar to the Atari. Controls are great. Good visuals. Good sound. Good gameplay. Just the right difficulty. So easy to play over and over again. Nice puzzles. Like I said, I give the Commodore 64 an A+. So now let's look at the Atari. The Atari has the same thing where you have the 4 options of different gameplay that you can do. And it is very similar to the Commodore 64. Obviously the Atari is the original. That's what they developed for, this game for first. And I found the Green Yamo and the Ninja to be more difficult. I mean, look how he just really just came in and destroyed me right away. I think they made those 2 characters actually stronger in this Atari. At least that was my opinion, and in my experience, because I never had the Green Yamo just come after me that viciously before and take me down. Again, the sounds are good. The gameplay's nice and fluid. Green Yamo, like I said, look at him again, just attacking the tar out of me. Very long reach with those green legs. Did you just see that kick and how long those legs went out? Not all the same kicks are the same. But I really like this Atari version. Like I said, remind me a lot of the Commodore. It is very, very similar. Commodore, carried that over to their system and made it almost identical to it. Just a few little things that are different, obviously, but just a really good start. The first system to start it on. Atari had a very good version here. Don't think the sound's as good. I think the Commodore 64 has better sound than the Atari does. Just my opinion, but I think that it does. But overall, I do give this one an A also. Enjoyed it. It was fun. Like I said, difficulty level, that Green Yamo just loves to just pound on me. And that's why my game was over first with this Atari, because I just found them more difficult. They were more than just in my way. They were truly attacking me throughout the whole game. So next we're going to look at the Apple II. I like that orange graphic there, getting the joystick all ready for it. Music's not the same. I would say sound-wise, is not as good as the Commodore 64 or the Atari. And you look on here, like I mentioned, Green Yamo is not green, he is white. My Bruce Lee is a white guy with black pants. The good thing about the Apple one is it was definitely the Ninja and Yamo are not as hard, not constantly attacking me quite as much as in the Atari version. I found this version to be very playable, easier is what I mean by that, where they're not just constantly hounding me and I could actually, play and get the lanterns. The good thing about this, or bad thing, for the Apple II is that I had unlimited falls. So I had infinite lives in here, and that's why I lived so long and could get so far, because it would just always stay on 4, this version that I have. So the graphics are not as good, I would say, as the Commodore 64 or as the Atari.
Still very fun to play though. Playable wise, I thought it was great, easy to pick up and just get started and get going. I thought it was good, but I would still, my opinion, I would give it a B. I don't think it's as good as the first two systems, the Commodore, the Atari, but it's definitely fun to play. And like I said, I could see someone who had the Apple II, I would play this just as much as I did when I had my Commodore 64. In fact, this is version I played the longest because I had infinite lives, so I went actually really far and played it for probably over an hour just and had a blast doing it. So good game again, as we all know, and on the Apple II, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. Another thing I wanted to mention with the Apple II game is that you don't have the two-player mode or the opponent mode. It's just all one player, and so that's completely different than the other systems where you can have those multiple options to play either as an opponent or as two-player. So that's another reason why I would say the Apple, I would give it an overall a B, just lacking some of the key features that made Bruce Lee so good. So next we're going to look at the MSX, and now we're back where we get one player, two player, or the computer or opponent. So you have all the options like you do on the Atari and the Commodore, but this is the one with the green screen, and I don't know what I feel about the green screen. Not that it matters one way or another, I just don't think it looks as good. I also think Green Yamo, his legs are just extremely too long. Look at that kick. Even when he stands, it just looks odd. There's just something different about him. He needs to be rounder and not so quite long-legged like they made him. Bruce Lee seems to be a little bit out of proportion too. His legs, to me, seems a little bit long, but overall he looks pretty good. It's just Green Yamo I don't like, and then the green background sounds okay on this one, but overall I would give this one probably a B minus. I think the Apple's better at it, Apple II's better, and the Commodore's definitely, and the Atari. This one's just okay to me. Playable wise, it was okay. Nothing really stuck out or stood out to me while I was playing it. Gameplay's okay. It's the typical gameplay, but again, just overall looks and so forth. Wasn't a huge fan of it. Maybe some of their other MSX games are better that we'll check out in the future, but this one, like I said, I would give a B minus. So the Spectrum version, what a quirky little system this is. I've never played anything on a ZX Spectrum. In fact, I never ever even heard of it, and when I was a kid growing up, just because it was not even available over here. At Kingston, I learned, I hope I said that correct, was to be able to use the joystick, but this gameplay and everything is just so unique and so quirky. But you know what? I still love it. I think it's actually really cool, just because it's different. I wouldn't compare it apples to apples to the other systems, just because its uniqueness is the fact of how they got the most out of this system, and how they made it work. And gameplay is actually really good on here. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I don't think that the Green Yamo, who's white on here, and the White Ninja, and obviously you start at the top, and there's so many different things on here, but there's just something that's just very unique about this that I found cool. Again, first exposure to it, first time that I ever played this system at all, and I'd be interested to check the other ones out. I was aware of different games that kind of had this on the Commodore 64, in this kind of outline of type games that the Spectrum has, and so I was aware that that existed. I knew it just wasn't here in the States, and I know over there across the sea they have a little competition of Spectrum versus Commodore, but to me it's just not apples to apples. Commodore, I believe, has better graphics. I believe Commodore also has better sound, but again, it's just the uniqueness of this one, how it looks. So I don't put it down for that. I would give it a nice strong B for it, because I just like the uniqueness. It was different. He kind of looks like a penguin when he runs, look across like that. But that's what I kind of liked. I don't think, I know there's the Commodore 64 group and the Spectrum group, and I hope you don't have to pick one or the other, because because I just don't have any skin in that game. I just think it's really cool and unique system, and I'm sure people who grew up with it, the nostalgia is just, really high on it, especially if this was the system that they played, and I can understand that. But anyway, as you see on here, when he dropped down between there's just one going across. All the other games, there's two going across. So there's just so many differences that you could point out in this system. But like I said, playing wise, I actually had a lot of fun playing it. It was easy to play. It just kind of reminds me, of different systems, and some systems had really good graphics and sound, and some systems had their unique way. And this one definitely has its uniqueness to it that I could see why people find it cool. I think it's cool. Now, the Amstrad computer system I found to be awesome. I fell in love with this one right away. It's just so unique and so cool looking, and playing on it was actually a blast. Now, this is the newest of the Bruce Lees. Again, he starts at top, but the colors in this is just so vibrant. Look at the lanterns look different. Everything looks different, but it's just very, very good looking. I did see in the video that I watched on 8-Bit Show and Tell, where they had that guy come on from I believe the Cave, and talk about this system and how buggy it is, and you can go under walls and so forth. I wasn't aware of that when I was playing this system. I found it interesting that these platforms here, they're treated like two different step ups. You got to jump up once and then jump up twice, where all the other games you actually just got to the top and you're on top. But this one, you actually have two different parts of the platform, the white and the red, to jump up on to get out of there. So you got to actually jump twice on the green and then back up to the red to get out of there. But overall, I love the gameplay. I love the visuals, the graphics on it. I like the sound. I just think this was a really cool version that I'm happy that I got to play. So I give this one an A. I might just be crazy or drinking the Kool-Aid, but I thought that this one was a really cool system and enjoyed playing it quite a bit. So that's all the systems. That's all 6 of them. And so I hope that you enjoyed this, and let's wrap it up from here.
So that's it, guys. That's the 6 different systems. I hope you got to watch or bring back memories from a system that you used as a kid, just like I, being able to play my Commodore 64 game. A lot of great systems out there, a lot of fun different versions, and playing them, they all have their own little nuances, and enjoyed all of it. So I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please subscribe, and until next time, thank you for joining me on another Floppy Deep Dive.